What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for the player ratings. We did it in our first season. We didn't do it last season. Trying to bring it back, trying to do it in a different manner. So feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about the player ratings. It's the first game, so I'm gonna be trying to be nice because it wasn't all perfect, as you know. Like some old habits creeped into certain players. But it's the first game of the season. Trying to be nice because it was overall a good win. That second half, and we will do a live to talk about more in depth. Instead of a 10-minute video, we'll do an hour live later today. Because that second half is, I don't say like overlooked, like looked at too much because it was extremely hot. Like it was very hot. First game of the season. Um, but I already in that second half, even when we kind of sat back, I've seen better things compared to last season. I've seen things that can be easily fixed that we were not even close to last season, even when we sat back. But that's for today's live and so on. So we'll do that. This is a player ratings. Before we get into it, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's go. Okay, so instead of going by player, like each player bringing up every single player, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna discuss every single player, but I'm gonna bring them up by position basically. So let's start off with the back line. And let's start off with Chesney. So I gave Chesney, a 7 because I thought he was excellent. I thought he was brilliant in that second half. He made two very good stops where he actually was extremely needed because it were like clear cut chances. The other chances were long range. He just did what he needed to do. But like Chesney, I think he's been discussed way too much in the summer or like the last couple of seasons. I think he's an excellent goalkeeper. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. I think he's extremely underrated. He gets hate, I think, because he's not Italian, I guess it is, or because of his wage. But then again, yes, his wage is too much, but he's not stealing a living, if that makes sense. 7.5 is too much, but he's not stealing it. When you look at Pogba, he's not playing. When you look at Alexandro, 6.5, that's poor. That's stealing a living. But Chesney, Chesney is not stealing it. Like, it's too much. I get it. I think for any goalkeeper, if I'm being honest, but he's not stealing it because he's saving us a lot of the times, even last season. So I think his criticism is harsh, and I cannot explain why, but he was good. 7. That entire backline, 6. Danilo, Bremer, Sandro. You kept a clean sheet. It wasn't all perfect, but I think we all knew that, or like me personally, going into the new season, I said like, I don't think that backline is good enough. I wouldn't start Alexandro Vergatti. That's my opinion. I think Alexandro did what Alexandro did. Like, he didn't make a glaring mistake, but he gave the ball away a few times where I'm like, it's too easy. Like, he straight to an opponent when you can see the opponent standing. Like, very strange Alexandro things, in possession is very simple, and at times the simple things he messes up, but like defensively, no major errors for any of the three. There are moments where I'm like, you need to do better in these situations, stepping out with two players and not getting the ball and then losing the runner, especially in that first half. You need to improve that because in the first half we played higher up the pitch. Maybe this is new, and we don't have a lot of pace at the back. Actually, we have no pace at the back without, looking at the three center backs, quote unquote. So that's something we need to work on because that center back partnership trio has no pace whatsoever. So if you want to play a high line, fine, but every intervention you make needs to be spot on, and that's why I prefer Gatti as well. And maybe against big teams, you're not going to play that aggressive like we did in the first half, but kept a clean sheet, no major errors in my opinion. So 6 for all of them. Now let's move on to the midfield, who was interesting. And again, I'm being very nice. I gave Wea a 6. He came off in the first half. because he had a knock. Apparently, it's not major, just no precaution. He wasn't much involved because we were dominating that left hand side completely. With Miretti over like Cambiasso, Miretti, Chiesa, like it was just an overload of players. So the right hand side was kind of not that, but like not involved in the game, and that's fine because we were dominating. We were overloading that left hand side. We were two players up to Udinese in that left hand side at times. So I get it. It's normal. First game in Serie A, just a standard six. Hopefully he's fine because we're gonna need him, especially in bigger games and games where there's a lot of space, and we need to unlock that game. I think he will be key. I gave Miretti a 6. Again, I'm not going into details because everybody knows what I think about Miretti. I think he's a very good player. I think he will develop in a very key player. If he goes out on loan, he needs to go on loan at a team that plays a different style of football that suits him, possession-based, in my opinion, and he needs to play. That being said, I thought he was good. I thought he was very good. His movement, his link-up play, again, like in preseason with Chiesa on that left-hand side and Cambiasso, I think was very important in that first half. It was. But even Allegri said it was a planned sub. So he came off in the first half, and he can go on loan. Like, who knows? Giuntoli was kind of clear that they're looking at moving on players. And I think Miretti is going to be one of them on loan. Hopefully, it's going to be a good loan that suits him because I believe in him still. So I'm not going to slay anyone. Locatelli, I was going to give Locatelli more than a 6. And yes, he gave the ball away a few times in the second half, more than needed. Like his pass accuracy was around 70 or something-ish, I think it was. Or I don't know. But it needs to be better. I remember a few passes where I'm like, it's very easy. You don't need to give the ball away here. Just calm down. Don't do stupid things. So I was giving him more because I thought he was very good. Shielding that backline as well in moments. I was like, fine. Until the final second, he makes the most useless tackle on the sideline with like 5 seconds to go, and he picks up his usual yellow card. Like I said, like Pjanic, he did the same thing. Picking up stupid yellow cards, not needed. I don't get it. Like, I absolutely do not get it. If I see it, certainly managers, trainers, whatever see it, and you need to work on it. Like, he needs to compose himself because some of the tackles he makes are ridiculous. Like, they're not like dangerous, but like they're just absolutely not needed. So I was giving him more. I was, because I thought he was good. Besides giving the ball away a few times, I was like, okay, I saw a standard throughout the game that I actually liked. But then in the last minute, you do that, last second, and I'm like, you need to get that out of your game really, really quickly. You need to do that. But 6 for me. Rabiot, I give him a 6.5. Did he deserve a 6.5? Probably not. But he didn't train with the team preseason. I think in the first half, he was off pace. And that's why people saying, oh, Miretti wasn't good in the second half. He was the worst player. I thought it was Rabiot. He was off pace. But he got his goal. Like last season, he's at the right spot again, and he got his goal. And those goals are going to be important throughout the season. In the second half, I thought he was better. In the second half, I thought he was the best midfielder on that pitch, from our side, and I was actually kind of impressed with his fitness level because I thought he's going to completely disappear, but he didn't. So that's why I'm giving him a 6.5 because he got the goal. But in the first half, you can see he was out of pace. Now, Cambiasso, he's my man of the match, 8, and he's proving me wrong, and I'm so happy I'm wrong. Like, I could not be more happy for being completely wrong. And now he needs to keep it up. He needs to build on this because we need it. He needs it. But that was excellent from him. The difference with Kostic is unbelievable. Because I know what Kostic is, and I don't hate Kostic, but I know Kostic is going to hug that touchline. He's going to cross it, and that's it. With Cambiasso, like Allegri said, like, he's very good drifting in midfield, picking up the ball, linking up play, going up and down. Defensively, I thought he was solid. He was excellent. For a debut assist, I thought he dominated. I thought he dominated his position, his areas of the pitch, and it was great to see. Like, it's refreshing because we've seen Kostic, Sandro, Cuadrado like the last 2 years, and it was always the same. It was basic. It was very static. There was no movement, and this was actually very good. So I'm so happy for the kid. Happy for us as well because we need it. and hope he keeps proving me wrong, because I'll take it. I'll happily take it. But he's my man of the match. He's my man of the match. 8 for him. Let's move on to the attackers. I gave Vlahovic a 6.5 and Chiesa 7. 6.5 because Vlahovic scored. I thought he was lively. His pressing was good. And yeah, he got the goal. Penalty or not, that's what we needed. He got the goal, and Chiesa as well. Got the goal. Great goal. Chiesa looks hungry. He looks like the Chiesa we needed. He gets mad when things don't come off. He gets mad when players do not understand what he's trying to do, and that's what we need. That's the Chiesa we need to make a difference, because we're going to need him all season, and I think and I believe he's going to have a big season, and he's off to a great start in my opinion. He is. Great goal, great involvement. Second half, you can see before he got stopped, like 5 minutes before it was done, he was completely gassed out. But for me, good. Two goals from our strikers, and Allegri said I see him as an attacker, not as a winger, and I kind of agree what he added to it. He said, because as he plays as a winger, he's just, with his head into the ground. And that's what I said during the live. Like, he needs to look up more. He needs to get those assists because he has the ability. And maybe this is the solution. Who knows? Because I don't want to see him at wing back or whatever you want to call it. So maybe this is the way to go. But excellent for him. So 6.5 and 7 for me. Now let's go to the subs. Like, normally I will give a sub a 5, but I mix it up a little bit. I give McKennie a 6 because his movement without the ball is brilliant. I love it, because he knows where he needs to be without possession, and actually his delivery was spot on. Besides the first one in the second half, like, he needed to give him earlier. In possession, he is what it is, but I thought he did a very good job in that second half. So, do I want to sell him? Yes, but it is what it is on that pitch. So I'll give him a 6. For Jorli, like I said, I usually give subs 5. Maybe not when they come on in the second half, but I don't think he was that good. He didn't train all preseason with the team, basically. I get it. You saw he was off pace. But that will just be, that will be okay. He just needs to get into that rhythm. That will come, I think, even before the third game of the season. So 5 for me. Junior, 6. I like Junior. I like what he brings. Significant thing. He came on to replace Cambiaso and not Kostic. What does that mean for Kostic? I don't know, but I like the idea. I like Ealing Jr. Slightly offside, not his fault, because Milik needed to play that first touch. Otherwise, it was a brilliant assist for Vlahovic. But I just like Ealing Jr. I just like him play. I like what he brings. I like what he offers to the table. So 6 for me. Milik 5, just a standard. Like, he didn't have much time and also didn't really get involved. I don't know if he actually had a few touches, to be honest. So 5 for me. Yildiz, 5 minutes. I give him a 5.5 because it's his debut. It's good for the club. It's good for them. And actually, the first few touches he had, you can see he can play. The way he controls the ball, lays it down, sees the things, exciting. Very exciting. So I'm not going to choose a worst player of the game. I'm not going to do that. First game of the season, I'm just not going to. I'm not even ignoring that in the comments, my excuse. But give me your MVP of the game. Mine is Cambiaso. I gave him an 8. I thought he was brilliant, and hopefully we build on the first half and he builds on the game he had. So yeah, let me know in the comments, like the video, subscribe. We will be live today to break down the game properly and see what happened throughout the day, with the Mercato news. And then, yeah, man, we will be back for game action next week. So like this one, and I will see you. Ciao.